So we went to Big Bear during the holidays, and by that time I was thinking, how about I make a video of 24 things learned in 2024? Because I thought it was a really cute idea, but honestly, I don't think I learned that many. So instead of that, instead of adding more to the to-do list, what if we remove the stuff that didn't work out for us? So here is a list of 12 things unlearned in 2024 for a better 2025. Who knows, maybe you might feel inspired to Marie Kondo your brain as well. Unlearn lesson number 1, say yes to challenges. For years, I've always had a get out of the comfort zone type of mindset, but when something simply doesn't click, or when we're in the middle of a project and isn't turning out the way we expected, it's totally okay to let go. Give yourself permission to bail and make room for things that make you happy instead. At the end of the day, it's not a failure if you learned it wasn't for you. Unlearn lesson number 2, invest in your work-life balance. If you have been seeking a balanced life but can't figure out how to do it yet, maybe the reason is because it has been a myth all along. Work, family, our time alone, everything is part of life. There's no 50-50 equation if you enjoy what you do. Maybe the only balance we're looking for might be found in a simple question. Am I living well? Unlearn lesson number 3, stay original. Nobody's born with a unique style. We are what we gather through our life. The experiences, the people we meet, even the works by other artists. I finally read this book called Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. And here's a quote that's worth mentioning. Copy your heroes, the people you love, the people you're inspired by, the people you want to be. A wonderful flaw about human beings is that we're incapable of making perfect copies. Our failure to copy our heroes is where we discover where our own thing lives. Unlearn lesson number 4. Being busy equals being productive. It's so easy to think that staying busy is a sign of success. I mean, every time someone tells me their life has been quite busy, I naturally think, that's great, good for them. But busyness is not always a positive sign. Being busy mostly means being occupied with tasks without a sense of priority, while being productive involves tasks that have a positive impact on our goals. Number 5, strive for perfection. Do you remember John Cleese? He was this huge comedian in the 70s, but we can see him as nearly headless Nick in Harry Potter, and there's something he said that stuck with me. If you're going to be creative, you have to be in a state of play, and you can't play if you're being careful. If you're trying not to make mistakes, it destroys your creativity completely, because if you have a new idea, you can't immediately say that's a mistake until you have explored it. Number 6, all in due time. There's a thin line in between patience and the belief of someday things will come to us when the moment is right. One of the most wasteful things we do to ourselves is to wait for things to happen. If you want something to happen, make it happen. Unlearn lesson number 7, always be creating. It's good to maintain an active mindset to keep looking for ways to improve and grow, but depending on how we tackle this feeling, it might fall into a red flaggy state. Never feel guilty for taking things slower. Doing less doesn't mean lowering your quality. On the contrary, doing less will keep our focus aligned and will help us have better results. Unlearn lesson number 8. Mess is creative freedom. Yes, our work environment might always be in constant use, and it might keep getting worse with time. But there's something I learned about myself, and that is that I can't ever work properly in a room where things are not in the right place. The way I see it is, get the job done, be careless if inspiration takes you there, but pick your mess up and prepare for the next adventure. Unlearn lesson number 9. Happiness is in your circle. While it seems like a good idea to spend time with friends and shared moments with loved ones, our time alone is very important. If a festivity or a gathering is not something you feel like doing, make sure to speak up. If these people love you, they will respect your feelings. Personally, a candle, a cup of tea, a book, and a cookie sounds so much better than a bar. Unlearn lesson number 10. New year, new you. This is ironic because I'm making this list, but there's no need to set up goals when the year is over or starting. Life is a constant journey full of challenges and exciting adventures. The clock might reset, but time doesn't stop. We can perfectly shift ways and change our mind halfway through if we feel it. We don't need to wait until next January to go back to the gym or start another list. Unlearn lesson number 11. Endless research. We spend so much time searching for inspiration, references, and tutorials that sometimes we don't realize we're consuming way more than we're creating. Expanding our knowledge is important, but gotta be careful about how long we look at the screen. We don't need to end another day with an empty page. And finally, unlearn lesson number 12. Listen to the algorithm. Back in the day, as a cosplayer, people used to recommend lots of popular characters for me to make. And I used to think, maybe it will help with engagement. But once done, I didn't really feel any fulfillment like the other projects did. Today, I read suggestions about this channel and the way I make videos. I completely understand they're coming from a good place, and I've always been appreciative of them. I'm really loving the community here on YouTube. But different from the person I was 10 years ago, I don't see myself changing my essence in order to gain more views. Making these videos has been so creatively rewarding. The vibe and the feelings I express here is something I haven't experienced before. And honestly, having a faster pace or talking to the camera with a different energy might feel forced. So while I appreciate every suggestion, I won't follow the rules of the algorithm if it doesn't fit my essence.